Oshawa.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, I have said I will fight alongside workers in my community, and so I will bring their questions directly to the Premier. Michelle, a worker at GM, writes, quote, Jennifer, thank you for standing up with us in this fight. I am a second-generation auto worker. I was born and raised in Oshawa. General Motors raised me. It paid for all my birthdays, extracurricular activities, medicine when I was sick, and dental, food, school, and the roof over my head. My father and I have given our blood, sweat, and tears to this company and have always supported them by purchasing the vehicles that employed us. I am absolutely devastated knowing that I am soon to be out of a job with hardly any notice. I worry how I'm ever going to get through Christmas, let alone how I'm going to pay my mortgage with no job. I hurt so badly inside thinking about what I will face in this next year. I hurt because we currently have a Premier who doesn't care about me or my family or General Motors having a manufacturing presence in Canada.
Order.
End quote. Michelle's question. Speaker, they're heckling Michelle. Michelle's question to the Premier is, quote, why does my government not care about me and my family, end quote.
Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I guess what I said about the Prime Minister applies to the NDP. You can't support a job-killing carbon tax and wonder why companies are leaving by the droves. That's a big issue.
Member for Ottawa Centre, come to order.
My friend from the Durham region, I would like to know what the NDP is doing to create new jobs, other than voting against a bill that gives money back to the most needy people in society, lowering hydro rates, getting rid of the job-killing carbon tax, scrapping Bill 148, which was a job-killing bill. What is the NDP doing? I'll tell you what they're doing, Mr. Speaker. They're doing nothing. Zero. As you're sitting there running around talking, we're out there creating new jobs. We're going out there, as we did in Southwest Ontario, opening new plants across this province. We're going to continue to open new plants, attract new companies.
Stop the clock. Order. I'm going to ask the Premier to withdraw. The House will come to order. Start the clock. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. And what I am doing is standing alongside my community because I believe Oshawa is worth fighting for. Speaker, the Premier has spoken to GM. I have spoken to them too. It sounds like we are in for really uncertain times. However, I know better than to count Oshawa out. But on day one, the Premier said it was over. He threw in the towel without a fight. Speaker, my community does have some hope. The thousands of GM workers, their leadership, and the tens of thousands of workers in the automotive supply chain have some hope. One would think the Premier would want to meet with them to see where that hope comes from and make sure that he has indeed considered every option to keep those jobs. So my question is, why does this Premier have no hope at all?
Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I'm just wondering if anyone from the NDP even spoke to the president of GM. And the answer is no. The answer is no.
Order.
I wonder how many people the NDP talked to, frontline workers. I've talked to hundreds. I've talked to hundreds. And it's amazing, Mr. Speaker, when I talked to him on the phone, again starting at 6:15 this morning, my last call was at midnight last night, and I talked to him, and every single call when I speak to him, they say, you're right, Doug, and by the way, we're no fans of Jerry Diaz. I heard that over and over and over again. All he was doing, one person described him as a 1930 union member sitting in front of his members, banging on the table, but doing nothing. We're doing something. We're out there. We're creating jobs. And we will create jobs for each and every person that lost their job. And I can tell you, Durham will be booming under our administration.